Hello folks, this is Sula once again. Welcome to another video for Teamfight Tactics. In this video, we're going to be looking at a reroll Diana comp. This is the new Diana, the Diana who is no longer Moonlight. Diana is now Spirit and Assassin instead of being Moonlight and Assassin, with Moonlight being removed as a trait in set 4.5. So that's what we're going to be looking at in this particular game. I will mention right away that this is a ranked game. This is taken from placement matches. Most people in this match were platinum in set 4, and they are gold at at this point in time because everyone dropped down one division at the start of set 4.5, but most of these other players are also in their plat placement matches. So generally speaking, I don't play a lot of reroll comps in Teamfight Tactics. I generally just don't like the reroll comps that much. I prefer to push levels and try to get to a higher level so you can access higher tier units. But there are times where it makes more sense to play a reroll team comp, and this is a game where that was very much the case, as we're going to see here. What I was actually thinking was I was thinking of potentially looking to play a Elderwood comp, because Elderwood is kind of, in this patch, the first patch of set 4.5, Elderwood is seen as being probably the strongest overall team setup. Elderwood can play in a bunch of different directions. You can play through Aurelian Soul, who's probably the main carry, but can also play through Zaya, and you can kind of make use of AD items or AP items. Just a very strong overall setup. It did get hit in the B patch that was put out for this first version of Teamfight Tactics. I'm not sure a lot of people are even aware that there was a B patch. They made some big nerfs to Rakan and some smaller nerfs to a couple other champions, but this was played on that B patch right after it was played. And in fact, there was a minor nerf to Diana in that patch. So here we go. This is what gets me to change my mind. I see that there is a Diana chosen here on the second minion roll. And in fact, there's also another Diana, so I'm already going to have 4 Dianas before doing anything else. And in addition to that, I actually have pretty good items to play the Diana. One of the key items is Gunblade. It's not the top item for a Diana, but you can make a Gunblade, and it's quite good on her. And then I also have half of one of her other key items, which is Titan's Resolve. Titan's Resolve builds out of a recurve bow and a chain vest. So between the two of them, between the items I've gotten thus far, I kind of have some of the key things that I want for this team composition. So I was thinking, all right, I probably need to look to play this. I also do a quick check here. Is anyone else playing a reroll Diana comp? No, no one else is playing it, or at least no one else has gotten it thus far. Less likely someone's going to pivot into it if they haven't gotten it this far. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look to put in a little bit of frontline here with the Garen and the Wukong. They'll pick up Vanguard and just give me a little bit of frontline. One of the consistent issues with this comp is that it doesn't have much in the way of frontline. That we'll get back to that in a little bit, as that will be a recurring issue throughout this game. And then I'm just going to load up on, I'm going to put the BF sword on the Diana. I believe I just make the Gunblade in a rounder, in like the round or two, but I think here I just put the BF sword down. And this should be enough to win this particular round against someone who's playing Nidalee. All right, so what are some of the strengths and weaknesses of this setup? So this is essentially an assassin-based team comp. You're going to be relying on Diana to dive into the backlines, kill the enemy carries, and hope that to have some kind of frontline hold up while she's in the backlines killing the enemy units. Basically, the way that this team comp works is it relies on the 2 traits that Diana has. And by the way, there is a 5th Diana. This is a very good sign. This is a comp where you're going to need to get Diana up to 3 stars. So that's a good sign that we have 5 of them already. But like I said, the whole goal is Diana will jump into the backlines, kill the enemy carries, and rely on being an assassin. Assassins get bonus critical strike chance and bonus critical strike damage. You might notice that I am not leveling, which is unusual for me. The reason why I'm not leveling is I want to have better odds to find Diana. She is a 1-cost unit, so by staying at a lower level, I have much better odds to find her. That's why this is known as a reroll team comp, is instead of pushing levels, by the way, there we make the Gunblade, instead of pushing levels, I will stay at a lower level and then reroll so that I can find more copies of Diana before I level up. So one of the reasons why I tend not to like the reroll comps that much is they're pretty dependent, they're somewhat dependent on luck, is that you need to hit the 3-star version of the unit that you're rerolling for, and sometimes you can just get unlucky, and if that happens, you have a good chance of getting an 8th place finish. Here I'm going to clear part of my bench so I can get up to 10 gold. I've also picked up Pike because Pike's an assassin, and I want to play more assassins. So, like I said, a little bit more luck based, but you can control the randomness to some degree. And by the way, we're having really good luck at hitting these Dianas. And for right now, I'll just play both Dianas. There's no reason not to. By putting in Pike, it's not as though putting in Pike will get me up to 4 assassins, and I'd rather play a 2-star Diana than a 1-star Pike. So let's talk a little bit about how Diana's ability works, since she is going to be the featured unit in this video. If you played set 4 before set 4.5 came out, you're probably familiar with Diana. She is essentially unchanged, aside from no longer having the Moonlight trait. What Diana does is when her mana bar fills up, she shields herself with those rotating orbs, same from normal League of Legends. The official description says Diana shields herself against damage over 4 seconds, summons some orbs to orbit around her. Those orbs explode for magic damage when they're hit, refreshing the shield when the final one explodes. So as she gets more levels, there are more orbs, and the orbs deal more damage, and she gets shielded for a larger amount. In this particular fight, I'm trying to see if I can finish off the rest of this person's team. I would really like to win this round so I can carry a 3-round winning streak into the minion round. Come on, Diana, get off that shield, and she gets popped right before she casts the shield, and that's very unfortunate, as she would have gotten off another cast. So here's a really interesting first carousel. There's actually 3 spatulas on this carousel, and that's something you don't typically see, is getting all those spatulas. Now, I could make use of the spatulas. I could use a spatula to create another assassin unit, but I saw that there was a Callista on here with the Chain Vest. I really want to make Titan's Resolve, so ultimately I decided to grab that. I could have gone for the spatula. The spatula would have been a more long-term play, looking to make another unit into an assassin who's not normally an assassin, and that could have been a strong way to go. But as it turns out, 2 of the players that are on 100 health are going to be able to grab those spatulas, and that will end up being significant later in the game. So remember that we had that spatula carousel. That actually wasn't good for me that happened. Well, in any case, I am able to make the Titan's Resolve. I'm also able to find another assassin in the form of a Kali. So now I'm going to go up to 4 assassins. And this means taking out the Wukong, which means I no longer have Vanguard. So that Garen is very vulnerable. Poor little 1-star Garen with no Warlord trait, no Vanguard trait, and no items. Not going to be much more than a speed bump here. And there's a good argument to be made that I shouldn't be playing him at all here, that maybe I do better just to toss in Janna so she can shield someone. I actually come up against someone who has leveled to 5, again, that's pretty standard, and has also managed to get a Sunfire Cape in, and that's unfortunate because that's going to reduce the healing on Diana's Gunblade. Kind of a problem there. So she does have 2 of her key items. She has the Gunblade, which means that her spells will heal her. Whenever she casts that shield, she'll get some health back, but the Sunfire Cape does reduce that healing, and then she gets eaten by Nunu, and yeah, that wasn't a good round, and I lose a lot of health, which is unfortunate. Like I said, it would have been nice to have more frontline there, but that was a pretty strong setup. I do only have a 1-star Akali and a 1-star Pike, so it's not like my other assassins are contributing all that much just yet. But we found 6 Dianas, which is a good sign. We've got 2 of her key items, and for the moment, I just grabbed Nautilus. I'm like, you know what? Garen has no traits, and Nautilus is probably a little bit better. He's a 2-cost unit, so he has higher base stats. I might as well just toss him in for right now. And maybe at level 5 I'll put in another Vanguard, or maybe I'll be able to find something else. What I really want to find is more Spirit units, and this is the big difference between Diana in set 4 and Diana in set 4.5, is she no longer has the Moonlight trait, so she no longer can become a 4-star unit, but she now has the Spirit trait, and Spirit's actually quite a bit better here in set 4.5. Spirit in set 4 was something that granted attack speed based on a percentage of the mana that the caster used. So like if you had a very expensive spell that took a while to cast, you'd get more attack speed. If it was a cheap spell that didn't take very long to cast, then you wouldn't get as much attack speed. Now Spirit is just a flat amount. At Spirit 2, when someone casts for the first time, a Spirit unit casts for the first time, it's 20% additional attack speed. And when someone casts, if you can get Spirit 4 in, the first time a Spirit unit casts, it's 40% extra attack speed. And at Spirit 4, it's really quite significant. 40% attack speed for everyone in your team comp. Each time that a Spirit unit casts for the first time is really nice. You get a lot of attack speed if you have 4 Spirits in. So the basic idea is this is a kind of a straightforward team comp to play. You get as many Assassin units as you can, and you get as many Spirit units as you can. And you basically just play those. You play Assassin units and you play Spirit units, and that's kind of the team comp. Now, of course, you can get Diana as a chosen in two forms. You can get Spirit Diana or Assassin Diana. The Assassin version is better because normally there are only 5 assassins in the game. You can't get the 6 assassin trait in unless you have an assassin chosen, or unless you manage to make an assassin spatula. And 6 assassins is really quite good. So what have I done here? I've gotten rid of my Vanguard units. They're not really part of this comp, having a Vanguard to play behind. So I've gotten rid of them. I did pick up an Aurelia because Aurelia can be useful for frontlining later. She will hold the Enlighten trait, and that's going to be that has some synergy with some of the units I'll be playing later. For instance, Talon is an Enlightened Assassin, so having Aurelia to give him the Enlighten trait is pretty good. Also will work with Janna. You might notice I've been holding a Janna as well. But for the moment, I've just gone ahead and picked up Yuumi. So I have no frontline whatsoever. Like, literally, there's no frontline units, but that's okay. Yuumi is happy to just dash around and heal people. Very nice. And Yuumi allows me to put in Spirit. So now, the first time a Spirit unit casts, it's going to be 20% extra attack speed for the rest of the team. And it's quite significant to get 20% attack speed when Diana casts for the first time, and then another 20% attack speed when Yuumi casts for the first time. So that's kind of our setup here. I'm still a bit unfortunate that I lost those rounds, but I guess the one round I lost wasn't very close. And now I've gotten to level 5, so now I can put in another unit. I will put in I'm going to put in the Janna to make Mystic. Again, continuing my trend of hilarious, no frontline whatsoever. But this works. I can put in Janna to make Mystic, and I will hold the Aurelia because she will give me an Enlightened option if I'm able to put her in at level 6, but I'm not looking to go to level 6 immediately because now I've hit level 5. I have max income, so now I will start re-rolling, and the goal is to find the Diana 3-star right here at level 5, where the odds to find 1-cost units are still high. They're 45%. If I go to a higher level, the odds are going to go down. So this is where you have to hope for some good luck, and how successful you are is at least in part dependent on whether you're able to find these units. Like I said, this is why I generally don't like reroll comps, but they tend to be, sometimes you're in a situation where you just need to play them. By the way, Yuumi doing all kinds of healing that round. Nice job, Yuumi. So we're actually going to hit a very early Yuumi 2-star, and then I find a Kindred, which I'm going to hold on to because I need Kindred for Spirit if I'm going to make Spirit 4 later on. Find another Akali, and I find another Janna as well. I don't know if I remember to pick up the Janna here, but I definitely should. So we're looking a lot stronger. Hitting the Yuumi 2-star this early is really nice. Yuumi is going to provide a lot of healing. We do have Mystic in, so we're stronger against magic damage that might be coming in from other comps. And if we can 2-star the Pike or 2-star the Akali, we'll be in good shape. Right now, not having them 2-star does make me a bit weaker. Especially when I have to go up against comps like this. Like, this is one of the team comps that was able to grab one of those spatulas. They've been win streaking from the beginning of the game, and it looks like they're playing Warlords, and they've already made a Warlords banner. So that's kind of bad. I really wish that carousel had not had 3 spatulas on it, because it's allowed this player, who is, by the way, super duper rich, level 6 and like max gold, already level 6 and has 50 gold in the bank, but I guess that's what happens when you win streak through the first 7 rounds. But aha, we're going to interrupt the win streak here. That's really good, not just for me, but for the rest of the lobby. There was no way for that person to kill my Diana. Okay, so we have another carousel here, and I've got a needlessly large rod here on my bench. So I don't have great ways to use this needlessly large rod. I mean, I guess there's some potential options. You could always go for maybe like spell crit on with the jeweled gauntlet, but that's already gone, so that's not an option. So I think it over, and I decide the best thing I can do is just make a death cap out of this. I could potentially have made a locket. Now, maybe the locket, in retrospect, maybe the locket would have been a better choice. I could have put the locket on Pike or on Yuumi, but I went with the needlessly large rod. I'm going to death cap Yuumi, so her heals are really strong. Now that I think in retrospect, though, probably should have taken the locket. I think that would have been better overall for the shield. I could have put that on Yuumi, and that would have been pretty good. All right, now we get another new feature here in set 4.5, is we get the lantern. And the lantern's going to give me some gold, it's going to give me a tier, and there's also a set of loaded dice. So what do the loaded dice do? Well, they give you a shop that will only contain the traits of the unit. By the way, I accidentally take Diana out there. Didn't intend to do that. It'll give you a shop that only contains the traits of the units you roll. And oh my god, I just instantly get 3 more Dianas, and that's going to allow me to level to level 6 and start putting in more units. And yeah, that was insanely good. So if you're curious about one of the reasons why reroll comps are pretty strong here at the beginning of set 4.5, there's kind of a couple different reasons. One is people haven't had as much time to figure out like what strong late game synergies are. So reroll comps that spike earlier in the game, and this is a comp that spikes earlier. It's actually not super great in the late game. So comps that spike earlier in the early game and mid game tend to be better at the early of a set because people haven't had time to figure them out yet. That's one reason why reroll comps tend to be good, but also because you have stuff like this, because you have the loaded dice. So like I tossed down the loaded dice on Diana. That meant that I got a shop that only had spirit units and only had assassin units. And as it turned out, it gave me 3 copies of the. It gave me 3 copies of what's the word I'm looking for? Of Diana. I only needed 2 more, but I got 3 more copies. So here I've tossed in Aurelia, and that's actually a mistake. I should have just gone Force Spirit here. I should have put in Teemo and Kindred. Should have taken out the Janna, taken out the Aurelia, and just played Force Spirit because Force Spirit is stronger here. The attack speed is really, really good. What we're trying to do is we're trying to get things that buff up the performance of Diana, and Spirit would do more to buff her up. Like the Aurelia is not really doing that much. Having Enlightened for Janna isn't really that great. So like this isn't bad or anything, but like I could have been better by putting in Teemo and putting in the Kindred for Spirit 4. So that said, this is working out okay. If we can kill the Annie, I'm in decent shape here. So we do pop the Annie. We're going to continue winning here, but I really should have 4 Spirit in. And in particular, I really should be looking to get more assassins. The big problem is I still haven't found Talon, which makes sense. It's still early to find Talon, but I haven't found Katarina yet either, and that's a bit more problematic, not having found Katarina at this stage of the game. But I'll continue leveling here. I was very fortunate to find the Diana so quickly. So here I remedy my mistake. I go ahead and put in the Kindred and the Teemo. And yeah, now I've just got a gazillion units with still no frontline whatsoever. These are just all like support units and attack units and assassin units, but no one who can frontline. But there we go. Spirit. First time a Spirit casts their spell, all allies gain attack speed. So whenever Diana casts for the first time, or Yumi casts for the first time, or Teemo or Kindred casts for the first time, we're gonna get that extra benefit. So, and now I can just push levels. I don't have to sit here re-rolling. Although there's an argument that I should re-roll a little bit here because so much of my board is only 1 star. Like I've got the 3-star Diana and I've got the 2-star Yumi, but it might have been better just to roll a little bit here to try and 2-star the Pike and to 2-star the Akali and to 2-star like the Janna. There's a good argument to be made. I should have rolled maybe like 20 gold here looking to 2-star some of these units because again, my comp is not going to be great in the late game. It is going to fall off, so it's better. There's a good argument that I should be looking to get stronger right here and be able to win more rounds and maybe try to knock people out. We're up against someone here who's already gone to level 8, and this is an extremely early level 8. Unfortunately, though, look what happens. Darius starts doing his dunks. He obviously rolled extra damage on his Hand of Justice. He also had the Infinity Edge plus Jeweled Gauntlet. It looks like he just got off a big crit and bursted through Diana, and you can see as soon as Diana dies, my comp just falls apart instantly. So that was pretty unlucky, and that person is running Fortune as well, so you don't really want to give someone a Fortune win, but unfortunately that is indeed what happens. All right, so here I go ahead and put in the Talon. I actually make a mistake. I should keep the Akali in. Akali is the secondary unit in this team comp, so I should really keep Akali in this team, and I should probably take out Pike instead. The other thing is I still haven't found Katarina, and that is a bit unfortunate. Another thing that rerolling would do is it would give me a chance to find a Katarina right now, and that would be really good because this comp spikes super hard when it gets to 6 assassins, and I actually didn't really know that while I was playing this. I don't have a lot of experience playing these comps. It is the beginning of the set, and I generally don't play a lot of reroll comps, so I'm like looking up how to play this team composition while I'm in the middle of playing this game. But what I should have been doing was trying to get 6 assassins in as soon as possible, and if that meant re-rolling a little bit to find Katarina, that's what I should have done. In particular, once I found the Talon, I really should have rolled for it. By the way, look at this stun lock here between Jax and Fiora. Ridiculous. That's a tough loss to take. A bit of a tough loss to take. So now I'm definitely going to put the Akali in, but probably should have done that already. And yeah, I mean, I'm finding some decent stuff here, but I should try to get up to 6 assassins. And let me read the reason why. I've got the full trait description right here. So assassins, what the assassin trait does is assassins jump to the backline at the start of combat. Assassins gain bonus critical strike damage and critical strike chance, and their spells can critically strike. That's one of the nice things about assassins. You don't have to put like a jeweled gauntlet. They can innately crit with their abilities. So Assassin 2 is 25% crit strike damage and 10% crit strike chance. So 10% higher odds to get a crit, and then your crits do 25% more damage when you do crit. And that's for Assassin 2. But the benefit goes up enormously at each level of Assassin. There, I'm going to manage to win that round against the Zed. Very nice. So at Assassin 2, it's 25% and 10%. At Assassin 4, where I am right now, it's 60% crit damage, 30% crit strike chance. So big increase from Assassin 2 to Assassin 4. It's triple the chance to critically strike and more than double the damage. You're going from 10% to 30% on the chance to crit and 25% to 60%. So like I said, triple the chance to critically strike and more than double the damage. But then it goes up again even further when you reach the next tier at Assassin 6, which again, you need either an Assassin Chosen or you need an Assassin Chosen, or you need to have the Assassin Spatula to do that. So at Assassin 6, it goes from 30% crit strike chance to 55% crit strike chance. So it almost doubles. 55% additional crit chance is pretty insane. And then it's 100% extra critical strike damage. So for Diana, who has 2 items with crit chance on them, she has the Hand of Justice, which has crit chance on it, and she also has the Titan's Resolve, which also has critical strike chance on it. By the way, early Samira, but there's not really any way to use Samira in this comp. It's kind of sad. I guess Sharpshooter with Teemo, but like that doesn't really work. But then I find something better. I find the Ornn, and I'm just gonna play the Ornn so we can start crafting items. So that's kind of a high roll there, but still no Katarina, which is unfortunate. Anyway, though, what I should have been doing was rerolling to try to find Katarina so I could put 6 assassins. 6 assassins would be really strong for this team composition. Basically, it would get Diana to 100% crit chance, so she always critted with her attacks and abilities, and the crits would do plus 100% damage. So she would always critically strike, and her crits would do just massive damage, and that's what I should have been looking to play into. So that was kind of a mistake. Like I said, I was learning as I was going here, and I'll know more for the next time I find a Diana chosen at the beginning of the game, but I was trying to figure things out as I went along. So I've got the Ornn in, and he'll start forging items. Otherwise, he doesn't really fit with this team comp, but it's 100% worthwhile to play him. Here in this patch version, Ornn is extremely strong. I should be rolling here, though. I should be rolling to try to find Cat, and then I should look to play 6 assassins. I should take out the I should take out the Janna, and I should honestly even take out the Ornn if needed to play 6 assassins with 4 Spirit, because that's kind of the core to this team comp. I would need to get Pyke in, and then I'd need to get someone else into the team comp as well. So I'm pretty strong right now. I've been winning most of my rounds. I had a little bit unfortunate luck in like the one round where the enemy Darius just got off the dunks and killed me. But I've mostly been winning these rounds, which is what you'd expect, because this comp spikes in the mid game. It's not a late game comp, it's a mid game comp. The idea is you need to win rounds and bank a lot of health, because in the late game this comp is going to fall off because it's based on a 1-cost unit. Even a 3-star version of Diana, she's still a 1-cost unit. And like I said, I don't think I've been quite as strong as I could have been if I'd been playing the 6 assassins. But like I said, Katarina just has not shown up. And I didn't know at the time that I probably should be re-rolling to try to get Diana into the team composition. Like if I had found Katarina, the correct move would be to play her even over something like Ornn right now. So here I go ahead and I found the Morgana, and I was like, you know what? I think it's better to have Morgan here for Enlightened over Janna. It does cost me Mystic, but I was looking at the other team comps, and I didn't really see a lot of team comps that were playing through magic damage. Like, there wasn't anyone running Aurelion Soul, somewhat shockingly considering how strong it is right now. But there wasn't really anyone running that in here, and, I just decided that would make sense. Also was able to make a good item. I was able to make a Morelos here with, you can see I've got the Needlessly Large Rod, and I've got the Giant's Belt, so I can make Morelos here on Morg. That'll allow her to deal the get that burn effect, and then I was like, well, I can put Frozen Heart on Ornn, which is fine. This way, people who are attacking Ornn will get the attack speed slow. It's not a super ideal item, but at this stage of the game, it's pretty good. Could have made a Locket as well, but by this stage of the game, Locket's actually not that great. Locket is most valuable in the early game and mid game. It falls off in the late game. I think that, like I said, I think there was a good argument to be made to make a Locket from that earlier. To instead of making the death cap on Yumi to make a Locket earlier, but at this stage of the game it wouldn't be that valuable. So I think I made the best use I could of those items. Morg does get off her ult. An important thing to keep in mind is here in set 4.5, Morgana's ultimate does have an attack damage debuff on it. The Dazzler trait is gone, but her ult just kind of like innately has the Dazzler property. And here I'm up against a Teemo and a Jarvan, but as it turns out, they do not have enough damage to get through my healing. So Diana is going to kill these opponents, and we're going to win this round as well. And as of right now, I've just been kind of econing, and I'm looking to go to level 9 because I think that that's what is useful here. I also find the Swain here, and I was like, you know what? Let's go to 9 and put in Swain, because that'll get me Siphoner with the Morgana, and I think that that's pretty good. I also get one of the new items here, Eternal Winter. Enemies who damage the wearer have their attack speed slowed by 50%. Although and then it says there's a limit on how often that can apply. So let's just slap that on Ornn. And if later on, if we want, we can always transfer that over to a potential Swain. But going to 9 and putting in Swain sounds pretty good. He is not a key portion of this comp. But, you know, you make use of what you find, and Swain would get Siphoner in with Morgana and, you know, provide another unit that can potentially frontline while my assassins are killing things in the backline. Now, this comp is a problem here. Ride Horse over C. You might remember this is the comp where the Diana got stun-locked by the Jax and Fiora, and once again, they're able to kill Diana before she can get her ult off again. So this just appears to be a bad matchup for me, this duelist team comp. Also has managed to hit a lot of 3-star units. 3-star Yasuo, 3-star Jax, 3-star Fiora. It's a lot of 3-star units there, so not great. Not especially great for me, and has a duelist spatula off of that carousel. So remember how I said there was that early carousel that 2 of the players were able to get the spatulas off of? Yeah, that's kind of a problem for me. Now here I find a Zilean, and I was like, you know, should I play the Zilean here? And I figured, yeah, I should probably play the Zilean over the Morg. I'm not going to run the Zilean long term, but I think that I can play that right here and get Mystic back in. I think that that's better than just having Enlightened on the Morgana. But remember, no Katarina. Still not a single Katarina has showed up the entire game. And that's partly on me. As I said, I could have rolled to try to find her, and I didn't really roll. I barely rolled at all in this comp because I was a little bit lucky to be able to find the Diana so quickly using the loaded dice. But still, no Katarina the entire game is kind of bad. I really would have liked to have played the 6 Assassins, but it wasn't until I went back and looked at this team setup a little bit more to record this video that I realized just how much I was probably missing out on by not having the Assassin 6 in. So I lose that round as well to the 3-star Zed, and that's a little bit unfortunate. Like I said, I kind of wish I was in a stronger position here. Just because this comp is starting to fall off, and I feel like I probably should have been winning some of these mid-game rounds as we're starting to hit the late game here. But anyway, it is what it is. Here I'm going to grab the Swain because this gives me 2 out of 3 Swains. I'm thinking I do want to play the Swain, and I'm hoping that I can find another Swain for Swain 2-star. If I can get to level 9 and roll, I'll have decent odds to find a 2-star Swain. There is also the potential one day to, after Ornn has crafted a few items, to swap out Swain and replace him with another unit. All right, so here we go. We're going to sell the Zilean and then level to 9 here. There we go, and that's going to put in the Swain, and I accidentally put in 2 Swains. I want to put in the Morgana, so there we go. Now we have Siphoner in, so this is one of the new traits. This means anytime one of these units deals damage, it's going to heal the rest of the team. So yeah, I mean, we find 2-star Teemo, and hey, there's the Katarina. But I make another mistake here. I don't immediately pivot into playing the 6 Assassins. I have them available. I really should be pivoting into playing them immediately. There's no reason not to. This is what would make my comp the strongest. The core of this team comp is 6 Assassins plus 4 Spirits. That is what makes this comp strong. And I'm actually leaving a fair bit of strength on the table by not playing this right away. Instead, I'm playing like these units that are like some pseudo frontline in the form of the Swain, and I've got the Morgana in there, but like this is not good. You saw I actually got popped really badly in that round, and I was leaving a lot on the table by not playing these units. So, I mean, we get 2-star Janna, but I was like, wait a minute, am I really going to play the 2-star Janna? By the way, I keep getting Samiras in a game where I'm not playing Samira. I was like, why doesn't this happen when I'm playing sharpshooter games? Womp womp. All right, so still haven't put in the last assassin yet. I still got the Pyke on the bench, still got the Katarina on the bench. The good news is there's a minion round coming up. The bad news is my health is dropping precipitously low here. I'm going to need to make some changes soon, or there's a good chance I'm going to get knocked out of the game. So here is that Warlord comp. Unfortunately, this person is up to 9 Warlords now, and they've managed to get a set with the Warlord's banner. So this is not looking good. Again, remember how I said that I really kind of wish those spatulas had not been on that carousel at the beginning of the game? Kind of wish that they hadn't been there, because some of these other players have quite rightly used them to make some pretty strong team comps. So Diana's going to get off another cast here, and she's going to kill the Garen, I think. Nope, just going to get dunked by Set. So couldn't get through the Garen, couldn't get through the Set. And as I said, some of these late game team comps are a bit problematic for me to deal with. So there is a Talon here. We should grab the Talon. I put an Infinity Edge on Talon earlier, but that probably was a mistake as well. Talon's not really one of the key units. Here's another interesting item. At the start of combat, all units adjacent to the wearer gain 40 armor and 40 magic resist. I kind of would like some more damage items for this comp, but I'll go ahead and put this on Swain. And we'll look to see what we can do here. Still haven't found that, still haven't grabbed that Talon in the shop yet. I hope that I remembered to grab that. Well, anyway, Talon is a unit that I was thinking to play through, but that was kind of a mistake in retrospect, because Talon's not really one of the key units in this comp. He's really just in there for the traits. And wow, I never actually grabbed that. That's a pretty big mistake for me not seeing that. So I grabbed the set. There's another one. Oh, I go past another Talon. Wow. Pretty bad not seeing that. But I do manage to see the 2-star Swain, and then I decide, you know what, let's take out Swain. Orin has crafted 2 items. Let's take him out, and we're going to put in our assassins. And now, belatedly, finally, I do manage to get in my... I do actually manage to get in the 6 assassins, and it's actually going to make a big difference here. I'll put the Eternal Winter on Pike, because he will be dashing around in the back lines. But wow, could have had the 2-star Talon. Passed up on that. That's a mistake. But now look how much my comp spikes as soon as I get 6 assassins in. Yeah, note that Diana just like instantly destroys people, because now she's got the basically 100% crit chance and 100% crit damage. And again, I could have had this much earlier in the game if I had been able to find the Katarina sooner. The fact that Katarina was not present until the very end of this game really hurt me. I would have been win streaking all through the mid game if I'd been able to get those 6 assassins in, and there was no reason why I couldn't have done it. As I said, it was a mistake by me not to re-roll until I managed to find her. So now I've got something better, but I do need to position better here. Remember, anyone who stands next to Swain at the beginning of combat gets that 40 armor and 40 magic resist, which is a lot. So I should be 100% positioning to take advantage of this. So let's have everybody, you know, hold hands, and stand next to there I finally spot the Talon, which I should have had earlier. Again, I don't play this comp as often, by the way. There's Aurelia 2-star, anyone who wants it. I don't play this team setup very often, so I'm not as used to grabbing these units. And then, oh, I sell the Katarina to 2-star Talon, and I actually don't have enough gold to pick him up. Womp womp. So this is some pretty bad shop management here. We are up against an Aurelian Soul team composition here, so what we need to do is get into the back line, and we need to kill that dragon before he can murder our whole team. So the good news is that I did pick up that extra armor and magic resistance from Swain's item. And as it turns out, Swain's pretty unkillable here. So Swain is just fine. Diana still does the most damage, but now Swain is reasonably tanky as well. And our comp has kind of come online. We've got the 2-star Talon, we've got the 2-star Akali, and you know, I'm reasonably strong. It's a shame that I wasn't this strong earlier in the game. It's also too bad I'm not able to get in Siphoner to pair with the Swain. That's what would really help my team comp quite a bit. Is I should try to get Siphoner in if at all possible, because then any damage Swain does will heal the rest of the team and also heal himself. But there's not really any way to do that. I need the 4 Spirit. I need the 6 Assassins. I'd have to find like a Brawler's Glove, or not Brawler's Glove, the spatula that builds out of Brawler's Glove, the Assassin Spatula. So that's probably not going to happen. Come on, get your shield off. Oh, Diana does not get her shield off. She might have actually been able to win that round if she got her shield off. And, ooh, thank goodness, 2 people finally get knocked out of the lobby there. I was like, come on, someone get knocked out. I'm not actually going to take a 5th place here, am I? Well, there's the Assassin Spatula item, by the way, right there. So I was like, ooh, can I get this and then look to play a Siphoner unit here? That's what I was hoping for. Now, I'm not going to have any gold to roll because it's the very end of the game, but, you know, this is not bad. This is about the best item I could have realistically hoped to find. And if I can find that and then put in, if I could now find Morgana, I mean, I sold my Morg earlier, but if I could find Morgana, that would be ideal. There's another Swain, but that's not going to work. I need a different Siphoner, not Swain. So I'm just looking to find what else is here. There's a Vlad, but for some reason, oh, I don't spot the Vlad. I spot just a random legendary unit instead. Oh, what a mistake. I could have had Siphoner in, and that would have made such a big difference. But nope, not going to happen. Instead, I put in the Azir. I don't spot this in time, and I don't really have a person to put the Morellonomicon on. I think I end up putting it on Pike because his ult can actually hit multiple people. It should have gone on Azir here, but really, oh, the Vlad. I should have been playing the Vlad for Siphoner. That would have made a big difference here. Would have gotten healing on my entire team, and Swain would have healed for a ton. This actually might have been enough for Swain to heal and not die in this fight, but as it is, it's not going to work. And to be honest, I probably wasn't winning this fight anyway, because guess what? That's a 3-star set. Yeah. No, not kidding. That's a 3-star set. That is a Warlord 9 3-star set. Yeah. How did this person find 9 sets? I don't know, but they did. Yeah, that's a 3-star set with double jeweled gauntlet and Warlord 9 for the extra health and the extra spell power. So let's be honest, I probably wasn't winning this anyway. But the two players who grabbed spatulas off that early carousel are the last two standing, with a duelist spat on Ride Horse Over Sea and the Warlord spat for this other player whose name I can't pronounce, X1 something. So who's going to win this round? Who is the stronger of these two comps? Well, it should be pretty obvious that the stronger of these two comps is the Warlord 9 with a freaking 3-star set. Like, as soon as he dunks somebody, everyone in that part of the map just dies instantly. And the good news is we're not going to have to watch more rounds of this because there's enough damage to just win the game right there. So I end up taking a third. I'm pretty happy with the third place finish, given that I think I had played... I don't think I'd ever really tried to play this comp. I think I played it once on the first day, but didn't know how to play it. So very much a learning activity. I hope that it's useful to hear me talk through kind of like what I did right and what I did wrong. And I just wanted to show a reroll comp on YouTube here because I usually don't play these comps. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Until next time, have a great week, and I'll see you guys soon.